holiday lets in London and restrictions. What should you look out for, and what does the future hold for us property investors? Dr. Mezzo has asked a question: how difficult is it to get a license to run a service accommodation unit in London beyond 90 days? And I know full well that London are being quite scrupulous in terms of the way that they're saying that they don't allow holiday lets. But panel members, please, fingers on buzzers and hand raisers if you don't mind to help with that one. But I know that Newham has basically said there is no one allowed to do service accommodation beyond 90 days per year, which technically speaking can scupper you from a tax perspective as well, which if you've got that. So any panel members, no one's bailing me out, I've noticed. So I'm just going to pick on people here. Bronwyn, over to you.
Yeah, I know that there are other cities considering it, and it's a bit like the licensing, you know, how councils have taken Article 4 areas and, you know, they've changed their planning rules, etc. So, you know, you just got to keep a very close eye on what's happening locally. You know, go to your landlords association, you know, talk to people, get in the know so that you can be pre-warned, if you like. Because I think it's going to be quite specific to areas where, you know, they get a lot of complaints, you know, because everyone's doing service accommodation. It's a bit like students in the past. So I think it's not going to be whole cities necessarily. It's going to be boroughs or parts of cities that they're going to look at. That's what I'm reading anyway. It's not happening in our area yet, but let's see.
Tim, you've got your hand up, so bail me out, so go for it.
Yeah, I'm always someone who looks at the big picture and long term. So my instinct is this will gradually increase. I think it's fair to say, whether you like it or not, the government are going to get tighter and tighter on regulations. So I think there will be more of this. However, the issue is also that of enforcement. It's all very well having a law or a regulation, but is it actually going to be enforced? And I know, for example, I'm well aware that in HMOs in the area where I've got my HMO, and we've had arguments with the council about planning and licensing, etc., they'll argue the toss with someone who's got a license, but they won't touch all the people who are actually sitting there without licensing. So there are an awful lot of unlicensed people anyway, and that'll probably continue. So I think there will be increased regulation, but part of the question then is actually how will it be enforced? Local authorities in particular are quite short of cash at the moment, particularly post-COVID. So it all may be very well, they may say, yes, we've got all these regulations, but actually, do they have the resources to enforce? That's a separate issue.
Before we go any further, I want to explain that there are many live events that you can register for free. There are 4 events that's showing: HK to UK to help people move from Hong Kong to the UK, the Property Expert Panel. If you're a property investor and property developer, this will be very useful for you. Tax Q&A, if you want to ask proactive tax questions in regards to structures and how to mitigate tax in the future. And finally, UK tax return Q&A, as it says, to deal with questions in relation to your tax returns before you submit it to HMRC. Don't forget that these events are live and will be shown on YouTube the day after. So why not register today, start saving tax tomorrow?